Book 12 of 2019 is High Performance Habits by Burchard. So I listened to this one on audiobook, and it's all about like how you can perform better and how if you develop certain habits that you will become more successful. So I'm going to use my review that I wrote because there's quite a few different ones and I don't want to kind of get them wrong, not get them wrong, but like just chat about them and them not be very informative. So one of the habits that he kind of discusses is to seek clarity and to kind of think to yourself, what are your intentions? Like, what is the reason why you're doing what you're doing? Like, have you actually thought about what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it? And he kind of says to break that down into, think of your vision in terms of yourself. So what do you want for yourself? What do you want for others that are around you, and kind of how are you going to serve other people? So he's all about kind of service to others. What can you offer? What can you contribute? What can you provide? And I really liked that kind of viewpoint that he has, because it's quite socialist, and you know, and I believe that you should make the world a better place and leave it in a better state than it was than when you got there. So I kind of bought into that kind of discussion. He says as well that when every time you go into a situation, to kind of think about, what are your intentions for that situation? What are you trying to bring to that situation? He says that the most successful people, the high performers, what they do is they think about what impact that they want to have on certain people and what outcomes they want from an interaction. I think a lot of the time we go about our lives quite blind, and we kind of, you know, just go and do like a meeting or whatever, and we don't really think about it, right, what's our intention for this meeting? What do we want to get out of this meeting? And it kind of suggests that maybe you should think about how you're coming across as a person, and that you should show enthusiasm for things, and you should kind of not in an insincere way, but like bring your passion to everything that it is that you're doing that kind of contributes towards it. So, you know, for example, my passion would be teaching, but I have to go to a lot of meetings, so I should really bring the same passion and enthusiasm for my teaching into those meetings, so that I demonstrate what I'm like when the people can't see me. But because I'm only showing what I'm like in a meeting, they're not getting the full picture of me and what my values and my intentions are, so I'm not going to come across and be successful. Whereas if I brought that passion into that meeting, then I would, you know, deliver on my intentions. He suggests that we go from one situation to another situation to another situation, and we carry the emotions that we have from one situation into another. So for example, if something bad happens to us, or we get stressed or something, we take that stress and that bad feeling into another situation and then make that bad and stressful also. So he suggests that before you transition between situations, what you need to do is take a minute to yourself and to just release the tension and to kind of reset yourself, so that you're back to your intentions and you're back to you as you know, your person that you are. I'm not speaking very well, am I? The person that you want to be in the world. You're kind of checking in with that between those actions, those activities that you have to do. I find myself, I get to work and I have all these intentions and everything that I want to do. If I've had an okay morning, if I've woke up late and I'm stressing to get ready and stuff, again, I haven't checked in with myself there. But if I do check in with myself in the morning and I get to work, then something will happen and I will lose my thread of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I will just kind of be on that kind of wheel, and I'll be, you know, I'll get to the end of the day and I'll think I didn't actually, you know, fulfill my intentions like I aimed to, and I wasn't the person that I wanted to be in that situation. It's very difficult to achieve that. But I think if you're a person that checks in with that constantly and does that kind of meditation between transitions, that you'll probably find that a bit easier to kind of be yourself throughout the day and not be on that wheel and not be kind of being unconscious throughout the day. I think what this author is suggesting is that to be more conscious in what you're doing and to think back, why are you doing it? Like, what is your purpose? Why are you wanting to do what you're doing? And then that will make you a higher performer. He, you know, suggests that you need to have intentions in terms of exercise, sleep and nutrition, which I think in the literature today is pretty obvious, isn't it? If you sort those things out, you will be a higher performer, because your body will perform better, your mind will perform better, and you'll be able to do everything that you want to do. So I'm kind of skating over that one because I think that's a bit of an obvious one. Burchard suggests, you know, think about the people that need you to be on your A game, and that will motivate you to be better. So for me, My students need me to be on their A game because they need to learn and they need to pass their A levels and their university courses. So they need me to be on my A game. So I have that kind of drive in the morning when I wake up and I'm thinking, I can't be arsed to get up and go to work. I think actually, do you know what, they need me to be arsed to get up and go to work. So I get myself up and I get myself ready and I get myself there early and I make sure I'm prepared and everything because I know that they need me. Like, even if I wasn't there and someone was to cover for me, they wouldn't do that as well as what I would do if I was there, and so therefore they need me, not just somebody to be there, they actually need me. And because I am so successful at what I do, of course they need me to do it because I can do it better. So it's kind of like they need me to be on my A game. He suggests as well that you need to confirm your why. Now there's another influential speaker called Simon Sinek, and he suggests this as well, like, don't focus on your how of what you're doing and how you're doing something, focus on why you're doing it. And I see this a lot at my work. So a lot of people are like, I'm here for the money and for the holidays, but yet those are the people that get stressed, that hate the job, that don't want to be there, that have lots of complaining to do and negative kind of energy around them. Whereas the people that are there because they know their why, they're the, you know, the inspirational people, they're the people that are happy to be there, that, you know, will kind of work towards that shared goal. So for me personally, like, I'm a teacher because I want to help people, I want to make the world a better place, I want to encourage people to think differently, to contribute towards society, to help other people, and I'm in a very blessed place to be able to have that kind of influence on people and to change the way they're thinking. You know, I'm in an area of England where people have quite stereotypical thoughts about things, and I can challenge those and grow them as people so that they're not influenced just by their family background and stuck in that kind of working class mentality, but actually can, you know, be socially mobile and achieve more in life. So for me, I know my why, I know why I'm in that kind of industry, in that area, and I know kind of like why I'm going to work every day. So for me, I'm not going to get paid like that. Obviously I need that because I need to be able to survive, but I'm not focused on the money. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that I can, you know, have that influence upon other people and make the world a better place. So I don't really kind of get frustrated and complain about things unless it's catching from other people. So you know your why, like, you're more focused and you get done what you need to get done. He also suggests that you should level up your squad. So the people that are around you, like, get people who are on your wavelength in terms of performance. So, like, you know, don't hang around with the people that make excuses for why they don't want to go to the gym or why they don't want to exercise. Like, those kinds of people will make you not want to exercise. Like, hang out with people that are like, yes, we're going to the gym and going every day. Not every day, because, you know, I'm not going to be around those people because I'm not leveled up to their squad. But then having said that, he does suggest that if you're around people that are a little bit more driven than you are, then they will influence you to be better. And so in the reverse, you will also be inspirational to other people that aren't like that. So don't just write people off straight away. Like, have people that have the potential to kind of be on your level, but also seek out people that are above you. Like, find those people that can be inspirational to you, that can drive you towards it, you know, the aim that you're going for, because you can't get there on your own. You need people around you, you know, putting things in your mind that are positive, that are driving you towards your aim. You don't need people around you that are bringing you down all the time, that aren't driven to improve, that are always complaining all the time about things. Like, complainers can complain forever, they don't make any difference, they don't change. Whereas you need those people that are a bit more positive and will help you to get better and perform. You know, someone that will make you raise your standards. That's what you need. You don't need someone that's going, yeah, you're great, like, yeah, okay, you are great, but you could be better. Like, you need those people to kind of push you. But having said that, he does say, like, don't be dissatisfied by your performance. Like, be satisfied with your performance. Like, you're great, you're happy about what you've achieved, but you could achieve more. But it's not a bad thing if you don't. Like, to kind of like, if you're always dissatisfied, you're just going to carry on performing but never be satisfied with anything, and you'll be unhappy. So he's kind of like, yeah, have standards, but don't hold yourself to such standards that you'll never achieve them, because then you'll be miserable anyway. He suggests that find something that you can have, what does he call it, prolific quality output, so PQO. Find something that you can do that's your main thing, that you can do lots of, that can contribute towards society. So we use examples like Mozart and Beethoven. The reason why we still hear of them today and that they're so widely known, they're so amazing, is because they did hundreds of compositions and eventually they produced one that was amazing, or two that were amazing, or whatever. So it's like having this thought process of, if you want to write a book, write 20 books and one of them will be good. Don't be looking at just writing one and thinking that that one's going to be amazing. He suggests that, like, oh no, that wasn't him, I'm thinking of somebody else. It was somebody else who said perfectionists don't write books because they're always so, you know, thinking that it has to be perfect, that they never actually publish it, they never actually get it written. Well, yeah, they don't publish it because they don't get it written, but like he's suggesting, like, just do loads and then eventually you'll hit on a good one, because your experience across the time of writing will mean that eventually you'll get a good book, which is why these authors that just write millions of books, they're not particularly great, but eventually there'll be a good one. So like people like R.L. Stine, for example, has wrote millions of Goosebumps books, which if you actually read them, they're not that great, but children love them because there's loads of them and whatever. And he's obviously developed his skills as a writer, so that he's ended up writing loads of books. That's his main thing, to write books. That's what he does. It's kind of like saying, don't be trying to do loads of different things. Just pick one and get really, really good at that and do loads of it, and then you'll perform in that area. Burchard also suggests that you need to get realistic, right? So you've got to kind of like think about what it is that you want, so what's your intention, your vision, and think of 5 major steps to get you there. Like, what are you going to do that's going to get you towards that kind of vision, and actually schedule in that time and have that in your calendar that that's what you're going to do, you know, daily, whatever, to get towards those kind of goals. There's no point having a goal but then never scheduling the time to work on those goals. So it's kind of like, you know, be actually action driven. Like, what are you going to do to achieve those visions that you've got? You know your why, you know what you want to do, but what are you actually going to do to achieve those and work at them? And he also says, think of like 5 skills that you'll need in the future for where you envision yourself going, and scheduling the time to work on those skills so that you're disciplined and you're continuously working on those skills, because otherwise you're going to end up in 10 years time in the position that you're in now, as skilled as you are, and you're not going to have developed anything. You know what skills you need, but you're not putting in the time to actually work on them, so you're not going to get any further. You know, if you're scheduling it in, it becomes a habit. You know, someone said in the literature that if you do something for 30 days, that it becomes a habit after that, and you don't need to think of it anymore, you just do it. And so it's, if you schedule it in and make yourself do it and become disciplined in it, it becomes quite easy to achieve your goals, because you're always kind of working on something. I think a lot of the time what people do is they put all their energy into work and they're tired after work, so then they spend all the time trying to undo the tiredness from work. So for example, like say you got stress from work, you come home, what you want to do is like exercise to get rid of the stress. You want to socialise with your friends, and you want to just like, I don't know, sit and watch TV or whatever, read a book or whatever. You want to kind of like disengage from life. You're never going to get anywhere. You're going to be doing that for the next 50 years until you retire, and then what? You might die before then. So you're always going to be that same person. You're kind of never going to get anywhere that you want to go, because you're not thinking of the bigger, long game. Like, what are you doing? Because otherwise you're going to be repeating the same cycle for the next 50 years. Like, do you actually want to do that? And I'm saying 50 years. I'm forgetting that I'm actually 31 now, so I'll be dead in 50 years, but you know what I mean. Oh, another performance habit is to think about influence. Think about how you want to influence the world. Now this is a big one for me, because this is, you know, what I think our purpose in life is to be a positive influence on other people. And it suggests like thinking of in terms of other people in the world and communicating yourself and your values consistently. So thinking about like what it is that you believe in, and to communicate that to other people. So I sometimes hear people saying things and I think, God, I disagree with what you're saying, but I don't really know how to kind of say it in a way that's not like, you're wrong, because they might not be wrong. It's just against what I'm believing in terms of opinion. But often their opinions through a lack of experience, and I see this a lot in teaching. So people will say things about students or whatever, and I'll think, oh, in 5 years time you won't think like that, you'll have learned and you'll have got experience, but how do you kind of like show that influence? So what you kind of can do is you can kind of say, oh, have you thought about it like this? Have you kind of, what does he say, like something like oh, I didn't write it down, damn it. There's some like examples he gives, like, you know, have you thought about like it in this way? Have you kind of looked at it from this viewpoint? Or like asking questions to kind of challenge the viewpoint that the person's got. And actually I kind of do that quite naturally on certain things, and it does have an impact, because even though you don't think it's having an impact at the time, like days, weeks later, the person will say something, it'll be like what you were saying to them such a long time ago, but they'll have forgotten, or maybe they haven't forgotten, but they've kind of integrated your viewpoint into their own. So it does, you know, things that you say, if they come from a good place and from a value-driven place, they do have an impact on other people. You just don't always see the impact that they have. So little things that you say, your influence spreads wide. It also says that you have to demonstrate courage and you have to struggle in order to get what you want, and that there's no point complaining about it. Like, yes, you always are going to work really hard, you're always going to be working more hours than what most people are if you want to be a high performer, but don't complain about it. Like, if you're working hard, you're going to get the outcome from it, and complain about it. You know, I see a lot of people in my work complain about things about having too much work to do, and yes, they do have too much work to do, of course they do. It's a job that, you know, creates a lot of stress because of the workload and the lack of time to do it, but complaining about it isn't going to change it. Like, just accept that that's the way it is, do what you can do, and stop being so hard on yourself about the fact that you don't have the time to do it. Like, prioritise, pick the things that are most important. If you waste your time complaining about it, one, you don't get any of the stuff done that you need to do, and two, you feel worse about it, so what's the point? And people see you as a person that just complains about everything instead of actually going, right, I'm skilled in this, I can do this, I'm going to kind of tackle that mountain a little bit at a time and see where it gets me. So it says, like, find that noble cause and fight for it, and show to other people that it's possible to do that, because if people see you doing it and not complaining, then they'll be able to do it too. And so then we'll be in a kind of more positive kind of world. It was really, really motivating book, because it just makes you think, what are you doing with your life? Like, get out there and do what you want to do. Like, stop trying to be in this kind of like wheel of, I'm going to work to earn money to, you know, pay for bills, to live or whatever. Like, it's boring. Like, do something more with your life. Like, be that person, that leader, that person that influences others. Like, you can do it. You just got to keep your arse into gear to do it, to kind of be more motivated to like actually plan what it is that you want to do, and that you can work towards doing it. And I think, like, I need to stop being lazy, I need to sort myself out and actually work towards these things that I want to achieve, because otherwise in 10 years time I'm going to be the exact same person thinking to myself, why have I not done anything yet? So definitely a motivating book. I definitely recommend reading it, because it just kind of makes you think, what am I doing with my life? Like, I need to do more, I need to kind of sort myself out. So yeah, definitely recommend reading it.